Gran Turismo Sport was released in late 2017 to a console world where most racing games didn't have tyre wear, and if they did, it was something you just turned off by default. If you wanted to win a race, you just needed to go as fast as possible lap after lap until there were no more laps. Gran Turismo Sport changed everything by taking the racing out of user-created lobbies and into structured events with longer distances and, crucially, simulated tyre wear and fuel burning. The races can now be won by your strategic choices before the event even begins. Races can have fuel and tyre multipliers up to 15 times, meaning that for each lap you drive, your tyres wear 15 times faster and your fuel burns 15 times the usual rate. Today we are looking at the tyre side of the equation. What happens if you take the old approach of picking the fastest tyre and just going all out? Will you burn your tyres before the finish line while those on harder tyres breeze past you and take the win? Let's find out. We are taking the Alfa Romeo 4C Gr.3 around 15 laps of Tsukuba with 15 times tyre wear enabled. The screen is split into our 3 runs. From the left we have the racing hard tyre, followed by the racing medium, and to the right we have the racing soft. You can watch the live tyre degradation in the top left of each screen. Overlaid on top of all of this is the lap time graph. This shows the progress of each tyre over the entire run. The tyres are color-coded the same as they are in the game. Red is racing soft, yellow is racing medium, and white is racing hard. Now the numbers on this graph are inverted, so the higher the line climbs, the faster the tyre is at that particular point. The graph starts on lap 1 and finishes with the final lap. This means that for most of the footage, the graph is a little ahead of the action. What is important to note about this graph is that it tells the overall story and general trend of each tyre. There might be ups and downs as we lock a tyre or miss an apex here and there, but the overall trend will be a good indicator of the tyre's performance into future laps. Below is the tyre delta graph. This graph shows the current pace of each tyre relative to the slowest. The longer the bar, the faster the tyre is at that particular point. The graph is much more dynamic and will vary lap to lap, but expect to see the red soft compound extend far to the right in the early laps, with the hard compound white only making an appearance late into the run. Already we can see the compounds are split fairly evenly, and if you aren't on racing soft tyres at this stage, you are losing at least 0.6 seconds a lap. Let's see how long that lasts.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
With 15 times tyre wear, we are over 100 simulated laps in, and only now are we seeing the soft compound tyre lose its lap time advantage. The medium compound is gaining relative strength, and over the next few laps the tyres are so evenly matched that any tyre can come out on top depending on the quality of each lap. This is surprising when you look at the tyre wear graphs in the top left. Even at 40 to 50% wear, a racing soft tyre is still a match for a near perfect racing hard. Already we can say with confidence that if your race distance is the equivalent of 150 laps of Tsukuba, then racing soft is the only tyre choice you should be considering. Coming to the end of the run now, and the racing soft tyres are done. The red bar that dominated the bottom of the video till now is just nowhere to be seen. Around lap 8, the racing mediums started to come into their own, and for the first time they were the fastest tyre, clawing back a tiny bit of the lead that the racing soft tyres had built until that point. It would be a battle till lap 13 for a title of fastest tyre. The times were so close that other factors like lap traffic could see one tyre ahead of another at any given point. What is notable is the consistency of the racing hard. It loses barely a second over the 15 laps and is projected to lose only another few tenths of pace by lap 20. This would put it neck and neck with the racing soft tyres on a 20-lap race. Although at 20 laps we would likely see the racing mediums take the win. Of course, all of this is without a pit stop. At the halfway mark, the racing soft tyres had an 8-second lead over the racing hard, meaning that you could pit, and if your pit stop is less than 16 seconds, then you would make that time up by the end of the race. But this is where things get complicated. In GT Sport, most races require at least one pit stop. Not only that, but you're often forced to use a different compound. In real motorsport, you see drivers do long stints on the hardest compound tyre and then put on the softest for a short sprint at the end. But as we have seen, tyres in GT Sport are a lot more durable. The racing soft did 100 simulated laps before the racing medium was the faster choice. Given that many races in GT Sport are a lot shorter than that, where does that leave us? Take the race we saw at the start. 10 laps at 5 times tyre wear. That is 50 simulated laps. Even if the track is twice as long as our Tsukuba test track, we still know that the racing soft tyre will always be the tyre to be on. But what if the pit stop is mandatory? What's the best approach to tyre strategy? Spend as little time as possible on any tyre that isn't the racing soft tyre. If you have a 10-lap race and are required to use the soft and medium compounds, then spend 9 laps on the racing soft tyre and 1 on the racing medium. If you have a 15-lap race and are required to use the racing medium and racing hard, spend 14 laps on the medium and 1 on the hard. This is good general advice, but keep in mind that there are tyre wear limits, and in longer races there will be a point in which you might need to increase the stint on the slowest tyre by a few laps. That is all for this video, but we will be doing more deep dives into the mechanics of simulation racing games, so if you like this kind of content, hit like and subscribe. Bye for now.